What's up, y'all? It's Kabashi back again with another beat making video for you guys. I know I haven't dropped a video in a while, but I've been working on a beat tape with my homie Mo Beats 89 called Smashing Buttons Part 2. It's actually taking video game samples from our childhood and making really dope beats. We got 15 tracks ready for you guys. That's going to be dropping on April 10th, so look out for that. This time we're going to dive into something a little more technical. That was a roadblock for me early on in my beat making career. And a few of you in the comments have been asking about this, so I want to make sure I make a video to cleanly and clearly explain how this is done in the most easy, efficient way possible. Now what I'm talking about is getting your beat from a beat making machine like an MPC 1000, 2000 XL, any beat making machine that has an output into your computer.
They're in the computer?
And then being able to take that audio, that analog audio, and arrange it. Pretty easy process, just have to make sure you get a few things right. So let's dive into it. And please, for the YouTube algorithm, make sure to hit a like and a subscribe right down to the bottom. It really helps me get my views up as I'm sharing this content with you guys. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is make sure that our MPC or beat machine is hooked into some sort of interface. I have a Tascam Model 12, and I have my stereo output from my MPC 1000 going into channel 9 and 10 on the Tascam Model 12. This will allow me to take this signal and put it into a DAW like Logic Pro, Pro Tools, or whatever you use as a track. So I've gone ahead and I've uploaded one of my beats into the MPC 1000 that I created sampling vinyl straight into the MP. And one thing to note, when you're making beats, you want to separate out every instrument as much as possible so that when you're tracking it into your DAW, you have every single hi-hat, every single snare, every single sample tracked out separately, so then you can adjust those audio pieces as you like in your DAW. So I've gone ahead and just loaded this beat. I'm going to play it real quick. Make sure it's coming through the interface here, which it is. Two things to note which are really important. So number one, this is an 8-bar loop, which you can see right here, 8-bar loop. Secondarily, our BPM is at 74.5. So we're gonna need both of these pieces to get a nice clean export into Logic. Now the key to this is we're going to be soloing each individual track as it goes into our DAW, and we're never going to hit stop. So what that means is we're going to hit play in the beginning, never hit stop, and we're going to solo these tracks and cycle through them so that they're always on time. They're always on the one. So we're going to match up now our DAW to our MPC 1000. So let's dive into Logic and I'll show you how I'm setting that up. I'm just going to create about 10 tracks, which will be recording each individual track from the MPC 1000. And we're going to want audio tracks created here. Audio, got 10 tracks. Let's create those. I'm going to go to Audio 1. I'm going to switch this around to custom. Just like to have more controls here. And we're going to change our BPM to 74.5, which matches what we had on the MPC 1000. Then I'm going to change this selector here to 8 bars to allow us to capture 8 bars. But actually, I'm not going to need that. So I'm going to turn it off. Now that we've got this set up, we're actually ready to go. I'm going to change our input on, turn on the record for this track, and it's actually already on input 9 and 10, which is great. It's exactly what we need. That was my setting on my interface. So you want to make sure that your track inputs are on stereo and picking up straight from the right channel on your interface. So this looks about right. I'm going to play the beats to make sure we're picking up signal here. It looks like we are. Since we're picking up signal now, we're ready to roll. We have this track soloed. I'm actually going to simultaneously hit record on Logic and then press play on the MPC 1000 right when the count in drops me in.
So since this is already on the same tempo, we're gonna just start with this sample. We're gonna let it run for 8 bars. Once the 8 bars are over, we're actually gonna transition to the next track by hitting the track plus button, allowing us to get to the next part of the recording. So let's get into it and I'll show you how it's done. One thing we're going to want to monitor here is volume levels. So look at the samples coming in. I mean, it's okay, but I feel like we could turn it up just a little bit. So what this means now though, we have to let this sample play through one more time from this 8-bar loop right here. And the loop is restarted. You can hear those crackling sounds. Straight from the MP. Now, as this is about to end, getting ready to actually switch to the next track. I'm gonna let this flow into it. It's like the next track is some claps. The sample's still playing from the old one, but it'll stop because we're soloed on track number 2 now, which is our claps. So our claps are coming in a little loud. I'm gonna turn them down just a little bit. Now you'll notice the loop will continue, but with just the claps. Right about now. So these claps are now at the exact time that we need them to be with the sample and all of the other elements of the song. Let these claps play out. Alright, it's about to be over. This one I'm going to try to get the timing right. So we've got another little snare here. This run for 8 bars. I'm going to go to the next one. This is unused. Got some hats on this one. It could be about the right volume. So let's run that play. And here are the kicks. Are okay in terms of volume. Let's let these run. Looks like we don't have any more tracks, so you know what, we're done. We can go ahead and hit stop. We're done with the MPC for now. So now that we're done with the MPC, we can just start to work on the track in Logic Pro. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pause this. We now have all of the elements of this track broken out into individual sections. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that the first audio here in the beginning is actually right on the one. So in order to find that out, I'm going to zoom in right in here in the beginning. I'm actually going to hit this, make it a little bit bigger. So it looks like we came in a little bit early. I'm going to move this back out. Yep. I want to make sure the first audio signal, which is like right around here, this will make sure the rest of the track is on point. So you remember now that we actually increased the volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn these on. Now we have an 8-bar loop here. So I can go ahead and right click and split this region by our locators. This will get this split out. Delete that. I'm going to send this back here. I think we've got some claps playing at the end here. Oh no, we don't. Oh, very great. So I'm going to split it by locators again. Now we have our sample here on track 1. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually take the rest of this track and I'm going to bring it down. And I'm going to play it. Now we've got the claps playing. Split that by locators. delete it because we've got just the claps playing here. Split that. And so on and so forth. Honestly, now it's a repetitive process. All you have to do is make sure that you're cutting these cleanly. And keep doing it over and over and over again until you get all your sounds, whoops, all your sounds split out. And everything is 100% on time. I didn't need these extra tracks. This is our sample. Got a clap. Got a snare. Got our hats. Got our kicks. I think we had 2 layers of kicks. Okay. Yeah, see, sometimes you gotta be careful. See, the kick's playing in the beginning here, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do this. There we go. And we now have the track in Logic. We have a lot more flexibility in Logic. You can extend it, add a drop, you can add instrument tracks, and so on and so forth. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm.